Good day everybody. Right, going to take a look at the second edition Monster Manual, or Monstrous Manual as it called itself, which was printed way back when. Now this edition was a combination of all the various monsters found through the different iterations of the game, like Arcadeem, Ravenloft, Forgotten Realms, Greyhawk and so on and so forth. Because when the game was first issued out back in the 90s, the whole idea of actually having monsters was put in what they call 3-ring binders. Because one of the rules of the game back then was creating your own encounters and scenarios. And man and order aid you through the encounters. You could take an individual monster that you needed for that particular encounter out of the main bulk of counter sheets and put them in a 3-ring binder. You can use them for the game on the evening. Problem with that was that the 3-ring binders easily tore, the pages could get lost, and well, a million other things could go wrong. It was a bit of a frustration for the dungeon master when you had to go searching through all the sheets to find out one particular creature you were looking for and then insert it for the encounter on that night. So to make things easier, they decided to compile the best of, as they said, the thought at the time, into a hardbound book. And as you can see there, there's quite a thick book with loads of pages in there. And the difference between that and this first edition is the fact that the monsters are all in illustrations in colour. And you can see there's quite a lot there. Not everything's actually, you can see there, the dwarfs, they'll be colour and all that. Some are not all black and white, you know, things on there. I'll just quickly take you to the one anomaly which is prevalent in these. And it's the Invisible Stalker. There you can see Invisible Stalker. There's no picture of it because it's invisible. One shown in the first edition book. You can see it. Now there's only one shown in this edition either. And if you go back to the first page where the credits are for the illustrations, you'll find that somewhere in there is the illustrations for the Invisible Stalker was actually credited to somebody in there. I can't quite see that bloody thing now. Anyway, it's actually there, so if you want to check it out, you'll see it in black and white. And I think it's probably like an in-joke given for the people who put the magazine book together. Now, the difference between this and the first edition is that the dragons in here are a far tougher prospect than the dragons in the first edition. And certainly you will not be able to subdue the dragons in this second edition as opposed to the first edition. And the dragons' toughness goes up by age. You can see there is the stats of the dragons as they go now from the age of 1 to 12. I'm assuming that's 12 years old. And then they go much more tougher when you've got the amount of damages they can do. And the armor class goes lower. 60 dice 4 plus 2 per breath weapon, and you do that X amount a day. The other difference between this book and the other, the earlier book, is the fact that now they've got an ecology column, which more or less tells you where you're more likely to find a given creature of a given type. It makes sense to have something like, well, you can't have a fish in the middle of a desert. It just doesn't make sense. So the ecology guys were there to sort of say, well, a creature will live in this given environment because, and you read the inscription and you know then it's a perfect fit for a given place, like a cavern, top of a mountain, in the cellars of a city and so on and so forth. It also helps them when you stock in your dungeon, because if you've got an ecology and the creatures of a similar lifestyle and type, then there's perhaps a chance, and it makes sense for them to be in that dungeon. I mean, you couldn't have a red dragon sitting in a dungeon cell next door to a pile of orcs. I mean, the orcs may worship the dragon, but the dragon's more likely to eat them. So you're going to have something tougher than a dragon that has the idea that the dragon maybe works as an ally. And the ecology thing will give you a sort of sense of where to go with that, which is pretty good. Again, you've got encounter tables in when you make the encounter tables yourself. Oops, I just dropped that. You also got treasure types. And there's also how you make the monster summoning or creating your own monster. This is a monster summoning table, not encounter table. And it has your instruction on how to do that, which is on this page here. It's a very good book. The only problem is that this one is thought was the best of. It necessarily so there are far better monsters were created for the first, second edition, and the first edition that could have benefited from being in this particular volume. And so I guess from hundreds of the creatures, they had to pick and choose. So your favourite is going to be left out, no matter what. But they did have several other Monster Manual books that came out with the same format and ideas as this one. So again, you fulfill the need for all the monsters you wanted. Yeah, so it's a good book, I like it, and I like the illustration, and I also like the way they've done the kind of formats for each monster, and the rules that have been changed for the dragons, making them far tougher than the first edition. So I prefer this edition over the first edition, even though the first edition has a lot of charm and a lot of naivete, which perhaps you'll never get anywhere else now. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a good day. Bye.